Welcome to the Sunset Archon channel, where we aspire to gain from night to first light. And after an exciting morning of TTYD for life, now it is time for part 1 of Detective Pikachu Returns. And I'll let you know that I have not started this game up yet. We're going to be starting right from the start screen in the Nintendo Switch main menu. So, we're playing completely blind, so look forward to it. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Oh yes, thank you for telling me that I can collect platinum points. Alright, autosave. We got new game, story jump, and settings. Instant. For this, we're gonna have text auto advance on. No need to fast forward dialogue. I'll just leave these settings be. Alright, new game. What will we encounter first?
The name's Pikachu, and I'm what you might call a great detective. With my bolts of brilliance, I've solved many mysteries. My partner Harry and I ran into some trouble on a case. Harry suddenly disappeared, and I'd lost all my memories. After that, I was wandering the city when I ran into Tim. Somehow, he could understand what I was saying. Our goals were one and the same. Find Detective Harry, because my missing partner just so happened to be Tim's dad. While we were searching for Harry, we uncovered a series of crimes involving R, a chemical that drove Pokémon berserk. Tim and I managed to solve the case and save Rhyme City. And yet... Harry was still missing. Even now, the two of us are still searching for him. Harry. Just where the heck did you go?
And so, to promote an even stronger bond between the people and Pokémon of Rhyme City, I hereby proclaim this day the start of Pokémon Friendship Week. To commemorate this event, we present this award to Tim Goodman and Pikachu, who saved...
Harry!
Pika? Oh, Pikachu, I'm sorry. I guess that's a sign I better wrap this speech up, eh?
Wow. You couldn't have picked a worse time to doze off.
Sorry.
Now then, due to the R incident of 2 years ago, some of our citizens began to doubt Rhyme City's motto, coexistence with Pokémon. So to those of you who were affected, I offer you my deepest sympathies.
What's that?
A Corviknight? Oh no, it's coming this way!
Sir, follow me. Everyone, get inside right away!
What the heck is going on?
Could it be? Or?
Don't think so. Its behavior's different. It's all right. Just calm down.
Pikachu.
Lousy Corviknight! It just made off with my signature hat!
My dad gave you that hat.
Yeah, we gotta get it back.
You know how important that hat is to me. Okay, so this is just going to fast forward everything. So let's just turn off auto advance.
Look, this must be the notebook the mayor dropped. There's something inside. A family photo? This girl looks familiar. Oh, she's the one who didn't look too happy during the mayor's speech.
That's my classmate, Rachel. She knows a lot about Pokemon.
Huh? Whoa, time out. You know her? Why am I just now learning this?
Oh!
Will Butler.
I don't know.
And Audino. Consulting Pikachu. If you get stuck during your investigation, see the light bulb icon in the lower left corner of the screen. You can press the left button on the D-pad to consult Pikachu and get a hint. I'm a little curious about what that Pidove was saying. Yeah, its friend isn't conscious, but all it wanted to talk about was an aroma it likes. Yep. Nice strong aroma that makes sleepy times go away. That's all I could get out of it. Aroma. Sleepy times go away. Wait, what if it was talking about using some kind of scent? And what if that scent could wake up its friend? That's it, Tim. If we find the strong aroma those Pidove were chirping about, maybe it'll wake up their unconscious friend. And that's what I'm thinking. It's worth a shot at least. But how are we gonna find a scent like that? There might be some Pokemon who haven't evacuated yet. Maybe we can ask them. That reminds me, listen up, Tim. If you're having trouble during an investigation, you can call out to me anytime. I can give you advice discreetly so no one else notices. Of course, you can also just mull things over on your own. But if you get stuck, it might be a good idea to take a break or retrace your steps. That's important too. You can press the plus button during gameplay to open the sub-menu. In this menu, you can save your game and change your game settings. You can press the ZL button during gameplay to reread recent conversations. Older conversations eventually disappear, so be careful not to forget what was said. So it has that feature similar to the Atelier games. That's good. Okay, here we go. The Magnemite. Levitates using electromagnetism. Little jolt from Magnemite here might be just what Pidove needs to wake up. Yeah, you can't use your moves, so you'd have to ask Magnemite to do the jolting for you. Let's not go there. You know I'd use my moves if I could. Oh, I'll tell you what the problem is. We got a Pidove that won't wake up. I was thinking one of your electric type moves would jolt it awake. Though, probably only as a last resort. Oh, you'd be willing to help us out? Thanks. If all else fails, we'll hit you up for an electrifying assist. Another thing I like so far is the various portrait icons when talking to people. You don't see stuff like that very often anymore. The last I remember seeing that was in a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game. Aromatisse. Exudes an enchanting aroma. You're Aromatisse, aren't you? What are these Pidove surrounding you for? Huh? They started to flock to it as soon as it got here. These Pidove are following Aromatisse around? You're asking it to make it the nice aroma? Hurry up, make the nice aroma. The Pidove are really getting on its nerves. Seems like these Pidove are all drawn to a scent that Aromatisse emits. Which means Aromatisse might be able to help us wake the unconscious Pidove. Good thinking, Pikachu. Let's ask if Aromatisse is willing to help us out. Hey there, Aromatisse. We could use some help. It'll help us out if we can get these Pidove to stop following it around. Fair enough, let's talk to the Pidove. I just hope they understand us. Sorry to ask this, but could you move, somewhere else? Hey, now's not the time to stop and smell the aromas. We're trying to help your friend here. Say, guess what? Pretty soon, Aromatisse is gonna make lots of nice aromas right over there. They're on board with the nice aromas over their plan. So they'll move? Great. Aromatisse should be willing to help us out now, right? It's happy to lend a hand now that we got those Padub to move. Great. Then let's take Aromatisse back to the square. Alright, Aromatisse, here's the Padub. Please help it.
All right. Glad that worked.
Oh,
Padub's awake. It's kind of like a really strong perfume. I don't get why the Padub love it so much. Glad you're enjoying it. Yep, you were a huge help, Aromatisse. Thanks. An organization dedicated to protecting the Pokemon of Rhyme City, the PPB. The Pokemon Protection Bureau. It's like the city's own EPA. Kind of like the police but focused on Pokemon. The Bureau only recently started its official operations. At the moment, we're borrowing office space in the Rhyme City Police Station and cooperating with the police. We were dispatched to provide security, but well, just look what happened. Can't believe a fiasco this big occurred on my watch. It's honestly an embarrassment. We were informed 2 years ago as a response to the infamous R incident. The case you two solved. Back then, Pokemon-related disturbances were happening all over the city. The human and Pokemon residents of Rhyme City were deeply affected by that. Mayor Myers was so shaken by what occurred, he took it upon himself to create the PPB as a countermeasure. He wanted to make sure crimes involving Pokemon, like the R incident, would never happen again. That is why this organization exists. Isn't keeping the peace the police job, though? In the past few years, Rhyme City has seen a concerning rise in the number of reported incidents and accidents. The police are struggling to handle so many incidents, including those involving Pokemon. But now, the police can protect the human population of Rhyme City, while the PPB protects the Pokemon. By dividing up the work, we can keep everyone safe. Hopefully they don't end up arguing over jurisdiction. So that's why the PPB was formed. Just what I'd expect from Rhyme City. Howard really is looking out for us Pokemon, huh? By the way, young detective, I was watching your investigation earlier and couldn't help but notice. Were you explaining things to Pikachu? Huh? I don't think Pikachu understands what you're telling him, though. Unless the two of you can. I'm not actually talking to him. It's more like getting advice. No, that's not it. It's... Oh, I get it. You talk to Pikachu to organize your thoughts. Interesting way to form your deductions, if you ask me. Yeah, that's it. Well, we do understand each other, actually. That was close. I thought he caught on to us. Be careful. Usually folks wouldn't believe we can talk to one another. Here it comes.
It's back again. Come on, let's chase it down.
Sir.
Hey, at least they're walking calmly. Eggs. App? Pokemon cry. Sounds like it's coming from the direction Corviknight flew off in. Why does... Oh, it's Zatu. Stares into the great beyond. Zatu. It's telling us not to panic. Cool as a cucumber, even during a crisis. There we go, okay.
Oh,
How do you like these apples? They're scattered all over the place. What a mess. And this is the voice we heard. An Alolan Executor. This is a tree. And it's growing here. It's kind of weird, unless... Unless what? No, this is definitely weird. An applin. Lives in an apple. It's dangerous here, applin. You should find somewhere that's safe. That's odd. Doesn't seem to want to leave here.
Hey,
Haven't seen the applin in this city before. Where'd you come from? Oh, you go to sleep in a wooden crate, and when you wake up, you're always someplace new. So what you're saying is, you find a nice apple in a crate, dig into it, go to sleep, and the next minute, you're somewhere else, go into another apple, fall asleep. You just keep popping up place to place. So the apple vendor travels to different locations, and this applin gets carried along. There's another applin right over there. The apple vendor probably doesn't know about this applin. Something suddenly shook it awake a moment ago. But that was Corviknight. Same goes for these crates getting toppled over. I don't see the apple vendor. They must have evacuated the area. So the wooden crate shook, you got thrown out, and that's when you realized your friends were missing? Got separated? Let's help find his friends. Good thinking. How many friends are there were you? 2. Okay, got it. We could just cut it down.
whoa! This tree's an executor!
Yeah, obviously if you talk about cutting it down, the executor would have something to say about that. Never seen one before, so I didn't realize that. What's it doing here in Rhyme City? Why don't we ask and get some questions while we're at it?
Hey,
Middleist head, why are you here? Guess it's been traveling around with the apple vendor. Explains why it's here in Rhyme City. And what happened?
hey,
The right head. Corviknight came flying through and you tried to dodge it and you bumped into the fruit stand. By the way, have you seen a hat? Corviknight took mine. Guess it happened too suddenly for you to tell. Oh well.
Hey,
Left head, we got a favor to ask. Sorry, but we want to search through those apples scattered behind you. Could you scooch over a bit? Have you been sitting still pretending to be an apple this whole time? That must have taken a whole lot of patience. Huh. Patiently staying still is one of your talents. Impressive. That Corviknight got you wrapped up in quite the mess though, didn't it? Your friend is waiting for you.
oh, this is a tasty apple. You want some too, Tim? Don't forget to pay for it.
The hat. Could have sworn it wasn't there earlier. Anyway, I'm glad to have it back.
This was a real pain. Huh? Hey, get back here. The heck?
Hey, quit playing around.
Hey, I'm not playing at all. My hat keeps moving on its own.
That's ridiculous, Pikachu.
See? Told you so.
Executor.
Guess I've gotta go get it.
Guess so.
Climb Executor?
Tim, lift me up.
Okay. You alright? Don't hurt yourself.
Please, this'll be nothing. Finally got you back.
Right in the face. Fine and dandy. Oh, it was a tiny applin.
Yeesh, that was a hassle. Yeah, now that's more like it.
Yeah, you look like yourself again.
Thanks, Tim. Harry gave me this hat to commemorate our partnership.
The awards ceremony will resume shortly.
We ask that all participants please return to the venue at this time.
I guess we better hurry back.
That darn Corviknight. I'll let it off the hook just this once.
Great work. Thank you. And you as well, Pikachu.
Yep.
I can't say it enough. Rhyme City owes you a debt of gratitude for your efforts. We strive for coexistence between people and Pokémon in our fair city. And you two are the ideal detective duo. On behalf of the city, I am pleased to present you with this medal.
Thank you, Mayor Myers. I'm honored.
Of course, you get one too, Pikachu.
Yeah, I'm the great detective.
Pika Pika to you too, little hero. Both of you, keep up that great work.
Way to go, Tim! Congratulations, hon.
Later that evening at Kim's
Tim, I
apartment.
was so proud of you today.
You're amazing, Tim.
You think so?
Everyone knows all about the amazing work you two have done. There was the Eevee abduction case, the fossil stealing spree.
And the Rhine Tower standoff case, too. They even made a movie based on the R case.
Yeah, I thought that movie was pretty good, but how come Mom and me didn't even show up in it?
I have no idea, but movies usually do their own thing, don't they?
Yeah, I guess.
Are they actually referencing the Detective Pikachu movie?
Oh, by the way, I've been meaning to ask you something. This is Dad's Pikachu, right?
Yeah. He's my partner at the moment, though.
I see.
Whoa, whoa. What's with all the staring?
He saved your dad from trouble many times.
Wow!
Oh, Pikachu. The news is about to start. Maybe there's an update on that Corviknight.
Yeah. Hey.
R was created from Mewtwo's cells. It was all confiscated, but after 2 years, not destroyed. After using that move, you just blacked out.
Yep.
Right. Well... Speaking of which...
We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this breaking news. Ooh, what's going on?
According to amateur footage we've received from a viewer, Pokémon appear to have caused an explosion. This explosion occurred in the mountain range northeast of Rhyme City. This may be related to the recent uptick in incidents involving Pokémon.
Oh geez.
Rhyme City Police and the newly established Pokémon Protection Bureau are investigating. Amelia Christie signing off.
Hey, Tim, did you catch that?
I hope that incident doesn't have anything to do with Dad.
Same here.
Mewtwo told me 2 years ago. Dad's alive, and we'll be able to find him as long as we don't give up.
Yeah, Mewtwo is still our only connection to finding Harry.
Whispering to Pikachu, are you?
Oh.
You're just like your father, talking to Pokémon like that.
Oh, really? It's been 2 years since the R incident. Since then, we've solved all kinds of cases. The mayor even gave us an award for it. I can still talk to Pikachu and understand him. If the two of us keep solving cases together, I'm sure we'll find my dad someday. Whoa, that's a lot of Whimsicott.
Sure is. They ride through on seasonal winds every year.
I hear they can be real pranksters.
If they get in a house they like, they scatter cotton everywhere.
Sounds like a pain to clean up.
Yep. The sweet smell of coffee is calling my name.
It's the perfect Pikachu bait.
Tim!
Frank Holiday, Rhyme City Police Inspector.
Inspector Holiday, did you finally find my dad?
Sorry. No. I'm here on a different case. We've received reports of a jewel theft. Could you lend me a hand with this one?
Jewel
Of course.
theft.
The incident occurred at the dentist residence, the mansion down the street. Sorry, but Brad is waiting for me. I'll go ahead and meet up with you there.
So much for my coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Pikachu's a real talkative Pokemon. If you see this Pikachu icon in the lower left corner of the screen, you can press the right button to chat with him. Sometimes Pikachu will try to get your attention, and a Pikachu icon will bounce to let you know he wants to talk. If you see this icon bouncing, press the right button on the D-pad to see what Pikachu has to say.
Whoa! Tim, look, I know we need to hurry, but would it really hurt if we relaxed a bit? For instance...
I was gonna get you coffee anyway.
Here's a good idea. You could listen to some sage advice from a great detective like me. Okay. Whoa!
This right here is a wonderful interaction. A street fight animation between Polyrath and Hariyama. Okay. A little jump scare.
Well, 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 if it isn't the great detectives.
I already don't like this guy. The missing jewel. Dennis residence, first floor.
I see.
All right, Tim. Mr. Dennis is waiting for you in the room to the right.
Oh, Tim, I've been waiting for you.
Sanjeev Dennis. And Growlith.
Oh.
The Aurora drop. The thief injured one of my staff members and made off with the jewel. Thankfully, my staff member's injuries were minor, and yet... the police are treating my trusted butler as the prime suspect. So this is the Aurora drop. Looks like a blend between lavender and mauve. The Aurora drop has been subject of many a tale, but it was thought to be nothing more than fiction, even among us jewelers. For the longest time, we called it the Jewel of Legend. Barnes. Barnes and you are the only people who can access the key to the storage room. And that obviously makes him the prime suspect by process of elimination. The key is always around Growlith's neck. If anyone but Barnes or myself attempts to take it from her, Growlith would start barking. My Growlith is a very loyal Pokemon. She would never allow the key to be taken by a stranger. I've known Barnes since we were young. He's worked in this home for years and has always served us well. I am certain he'd never steal from me. And I couldn't possibly imagine him hurting anyone. Press the X button. Let's write in the notebook any burning questions that arise while we're investigating. We'll summarize the testimony and evidence that we've gathered during our investigation on the page below. After we collected enough testimonies and evidence, the begin deducing option will appear. When you select this, we can start deducing the answers to our questions. We don't have enough testimonies or evidence right now, but once we do, we'll be able to start deducing. I guess actually using the notebook is the best approach. So Tim, what do we have to do right now? We have to collect testimonies and evidence to figure out how the jewel was stolen. To do that, we first have to investigate the scene of the crime. Another nice touch. Growlith's food bowl.
Excuse me. Man.
You're even harder to talk than Brad's Menetric.
You know, Tim, we're really living the good life at our apartment. A huge mansion like this must be a pain to clean.
Yes.
Ah, Whimsicott. Wait, what?
Let me see.
A blue feather. Only the glass case is damaged. And it looks like the kind of work you'd expect from a Scyther or a Bisharp. Even more so, the glass casing actually fell without shattering. The jewel case is still locked. Which means the key wasn't used to open it. So where's the key? The key to the case is a different key than the one to the jewel storage room door.
Right. Hey, Tim! Check it out! Looks good, huh? Disguises are a key part of detective work, you know.
Yeah, whatever. Now quit goofing off and investigate.
He clearly doesn't appreciate my art. Perhaps I need to give him a little more training.
Okay, so bloopers are included.
Okay, let's start deducing. Okay.
You probably figured out how the culprit stole the jewel by now, huh? Alright, select begin deducing in your case notebook.
Okay.
We have a few plausible theories. Which do you think is right? The culprit hasn't actually stolen the jewel yet. The culprit may not have taken the aura drop out of the jewel storage room. Instead, they may have hidden it among the cotton fluff scattered throughout the room.
Okay.
From what we've seen of the crime scene, we can tell that the jewel case was sliced open. After that, the aura drop was removed from the case and taken away. Right, and we saw that the jewel case was still locked, which supports that claim. We still need to investigate more to determine how the case was sliced open. But at least we know how the thief got their hands on the aurora drop. Yeah, we made our first step forward. You understand how to use the case notebook now? Yep, once I've got some evidence, I'll start deducing. Feel free to start deducing whenever you feel like it. After investigating the scene, we now know how the crime was carried out. We can be certain that the culprit sliced open the case and took the jewel from the inside. But there's still one thing that's strange. Yeah, think, Tim. What's strange about the way the crime was committed? The glass was cut, but the door wasn't.
Oh!
The door to the storage room was opened with the key, but the case was cut. That means the thief only had one of the keys, one to the storage room. They didn't have the keys to the jewel case. According to Mr. Dennis, only he and Barnes can access the jewel storage room. I understand why the police suspect Barnes, but I'm not so sure. And this is my own musing, but judging from the amount of fluff in this room, I am guessing we are looking for a sheared Whimsicott. Need to ask Mr. Dennis about the lock on the jewel case. The thief cut open the case to steal the jewel, but they had the key to get into the storage room. And the only people who have access to that key are Dennis and Barnes. So it makes sense that the people would suspect the police would suspect Barnes. If the key hadn't been used to unlock the storage room, Barnes wouldn't be under suspicion in the first place. Why would he do that, knowing people would suspect him? Maybe he didn't think that far ahead. In any case, based on what we found at the scene of the crime, we can't be certain of anything just yet. We need to talk to Barnes and the other people in the mansion to hear what they have to say. Not just the people, the Pokemon too. Another blue feather.
Oh!
Whoa!
Clefable. All ears for Mansion Gossip. Oh, it's Clefable. Mrs. Dennis's partner, apparently. Can I ask you a few questions? Whoa, what gives? No need to be so rude. What's wrong? Seems like she's real suspicious of us. Maybe she's feeling sensitive after the incident here. Okay then.
Yes? You certainly don't look like you're with the police. State your business.
Wow. I can see where Clefable gets it from. Oh wow. Barnes' partner Ducklet.
Excuse me.
A blue bird Pokemon. That could have been any blue bird.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Yes?
Yeah, I don't like her either.
Excuse me.
I see.
Of all the jewels in my shop, the Aurora Drop was the only one to remain unscathed. In fact, debris fell so perfectly around the Aurora Drop, you might believe it was being protected. That's incredible. There's just some magic left in the world after all. Ever since then, the Aurora Drop became known as the jewel that survived the R incident. People started visiting my shop just to see it. And thanks to all that attention, my business was able to get back on its feet. Sounds like a valuable jewel in more ways than one. What made you decide to bring it back to your mansion instead of keeping it at your shop? I decided to donate it to Rhyme City. The Aurora Drop? But why donate something so precious to you? It's not just precious to me, and that's why I decided to donate it. Mayor Myers has done his part in improving our city by declaring the start of Pokemon Friendship Week, and I thought it was about time I did mine. So, I wanted to donate the jewel that survived the R incident as a symbol of Rhyme City's revival. I hope that by doing so, I can liven up not just my shop, but the whole city as well. Wow, Dennis, I'm impressed. It's a wonderful gesture. I'm glad you think so. Not everyone is so pleased about it. Oh? Yeah, forget I said anything. I shouldn't burden you with concern over personal matters. For now, I'm counting on you to find the Aurora Drop as quickly as possible. Understood. We'll do everything we can.
Hello there, Detective Tim. Oh, I mean, Detective Goodman?
Larry Turner, newest staff member of the Dennis residence. Wait, you are the detective, right? That's what Mr. Dennis said at least. The name's... Wait, that's not proper enough, sorry. My name is Larry Turner. I am a member of this house staff. House staff, huh? Seems in over his head. If you need anything, just let me know. I mean, please inform me if... You don't need to be so formal with us. Thanks, that's a huge relief. I got this job a while ago, but I'm still not used to all the fancy talk. Uh-oh, is that a problem? Well, it's a good thing for me that Barnes deals with all the important guests. My main duties are to take care of the Pokemon, managing the house, and groundskeeping. And I can handle all that, no problem. Oh no, this guy isn't exactly filling me with confidence in his ability to do his job. Anyway, you want to ask about what happened, right? I mean, I already told the police everything I know. Really sorry for taking up more of your time. Oh, sorry, that's not what I meant. I'm not complaining or anything. It's just I don't remember what happened very well. Something attacked me out of nowhere and I blacked out. Something attacked him? So not the thief then. Can you please tell us more about that, Mr. Turner? Sure, no problem. So, where to start? I was just doing my job like normal today. I made food for the Pokemon, did some cleaning around the mansion, that sort of thing. I think I was tidying the garden when it happened. I saw a ducklet fly out of the second-story window. As I recall, I wondered where she was going. I mean, usually ducklet just walks out the front door. It seemed weird to me, so I went upstairs to see what was going on. That's when I saw the door to this jewel storage room was wide open. As if that wasn't shocking enough, the moment I went to look inside, I suddenly got punched by a Pokemon. Next thing I knew, I was lying on the sofa and someone was treating my wounds. So, you got punched after seeing Ducklet leave the window. A Pokemon punched you? Yeah. I feel like I glimpsed a small red figure for just a moment. Based on the size, it couldn't have been human. So I'm guessing it was a Pokemon. A red Pokemon. Do you know what kind it was? I'm really not sure. It all happened so fast. See, I'm so sorry that happened to you, but I'm glad you weren't seriously hurt. That's what the doctor said too. No Pokemon will want to steal the Aurora Drop. It's possible that the culprit ordered their partner, Pokemon, to swipe the jewel and punch out Turner. So Tim, now that you've heard Turner's story, what do you think? We need to find the Ducklet that flew out the window, and the red Pokemon too. Yep, you got it.
Excuse me.
Unfortunately, that's all I saw. Can you think of any other details that might give us a clue about the culprit? Nothing particular is coming to mind. I mean, Mr. Dennis is such a nice person. I've never heard anyone holding a grudge against him. And I was really surprised to hear that Barnes is a suspect. You don't think Barnes is responsible? I guess the police must have some reason to suspect him. But honestly, I just can't believe it. Barnes is still showing me the ropes around here. He's a great co-worker with tons of experience. I mean, if you'd known Barnes before all this, you'd never imagine him being a thief.
Excuse me.
The Aurora Drop? I've never even seen the thing. It's been shut up in the storage room ever since it was brought to the house. Of course, I know it's valuable and all. I assume that's what's been causing all the arguments between Mr. and Mrs. Dennis lately. What sort of arguments? In case you haven't heard, Mr. Dennis says he's going to donate the Aurora Drop. Seems like Mrs. Dennis is against that plan. They've been fighting about it almost nightly. Every night? It must be really a point of contention. I guess Mrs. Dennis just doesn't want to give up such a valuable jewel. So the Aurora Drop's been driving a wedge between husband and wife, eh? Now then, Mr. Barnes, we'll thank you not to leave the mansion until further notice. Understood. Hey, sounds like the police have finished questioning Barnes. Let's go talk to them. The butler of the Dennis residence, Brandon Barnes. How did it come to this? Why are the police so suspicious of me? Excuse me, are you Mr. Barnes? Who might you be? I'm Detective Tim Goodman. Mr. Dennis has hired me to investigate the crime that occurred here. Is that so? My apologies. I am Brandon Barnes. I work here at the Dennis residence as a butler. Do you mind if we ask you some questions, Mr. Barnes? I realize that you must be tired since you were just questioned by the police. Please don't worry about that. If you've been hired by Mr. Dennis, then it is my duty to give you my full cooperation. Thank you. What would you like to speak about first?
Yes.
I was away when this incident occurred. It wasn't until after I finished my errand and entered the house that I realized something was amiss. I heard Turner cry out from the second floor. When I rushed upstairs, I found him collapsed on the floor in front of the jewel storage room. So that means Barnes was the first witness to arrive at the scene of the crime. Did you see the thief or their partner Pokemon? No, nothing at all. Wait, if Barnes ran up the stairs, you'd think he would have run straight into the thief. If he didn't see anyone, could they have escaped from the second floor? Did you check the storage room? Yes. The door was already open, and when I looked inside, I saw the Aurora Drop was gone. I then contacted Mr. Dennis and the police right away. Is there anyone who could corroborate your whereabouts at the time? Unfortunately not. It was only afterwards that Mrs. Dennis came out of her room to see what the commotion was about. And the only others in the house at the time were Growlithe and Clefable. Naturally, no one can take witness statements from Pokemon, so I'm afraid I have no alibi. And that's where we come in. The Pokemon that live in this mansion might know something. Mr. Barnes, do you have any idea who the thief might be? Not a clue, I'm afraid. But I do know that Mr. Dennis and I are the only ones who can freely use the key to the jewel storage room. Growlithe guards that key with constant vigilance. So, I imagine it would be very difficult for anyone else to take it from her. I suppose it's no great wonder that the police suspect me given the circumstances. But I would never do something so senseless. At least this confirms that only those two have access to the key.
Yes.
Ducklet is my dear partner Pokemon. Look at this photo. That's Ducklet there with you. Look at the emotion in this picture. Yes, isn't she adorable? Just look at her feathers, simply beautiful. But that's not all. She's also incredibly clever and even helps me out with my work. Oh, excuse me. I'm terribly sorry. I tend to get a bit carried away when I speak about Ducklet. It's really no problem. You mentioned that she helps you with work. What exactly does she do? Let's see. She runs errands for me, such as buying coffee beans at a local cafe. Oh, she buys coffee beans. Nice. There's a place nearby called the High Hat Cafe. Perhaps you've heard of it. She regularly goes shopping there by herself. If that's their go-to cafe, it's gotta be for the High Hat blend. Guess I shouldn't be surprised that Rhyme City's elites have such refined taste. I asked her to go to the cafe today, in fact, but she hasn't returned yet. Could she have wandered off somewhere? Do you have any idea where Ducklet might be? Unfortunately, no. The feathers found at the scene of the crime are Ducklet's, right? Yes, no question about it. But I haven't the faintest idea why Ducklet's feathers would be there. Just the thought of her getting caught up in the crime somehow. I'm so worried I can hardly think straight. Out of all the jewels in Mr. Dennis's collection, he considers the Aurora Drop to be his most precious. He worked tirelessly to acquire it in the first place. You might even say the Aurora Drop is the physical manifestation, the crystallization of Mr. Dennis's career as a jeweler. I wish nothing but swift retribution on the thief who stole it from him. For someone who speaks so formally, Barnes is a pretty passionate guy, isn't he? Please, Tim, find the Aurora Drop. I beg you. Don't worry, sir, we're on the case.
Well...
Based on Barnes' testimony, I'm not really surprised that the police suspect him. Yeah, if only there was another witness at least. About that, aren't you forgetting something, Tim? Huh? Barnes told us that Growlithe and Clefable were in the mansion at the time of the incident, remember? Oh right, maybe they saw something. Exactly. You leave the rest to me. Let's go question them, Tim.
Tim. Yo, main ectric! Working hard? Hey, what did I ever do to you?
What do you want, great detective? Have you finished questioning Barnes? For now, anyway. We just haven't finished gathering our evidence. It doesn't change the fact that Barnes is still a suspect. If you don't mind, could we ask you some questions? If you insist, but I have no intention of sharing confidential information with you.
Excuse me?
Is the storage room key the reason the police suspect Barnes? Oh, so you know that much already. Well, no point in denying it. The only two people who can access the key are the homeowner and his butler, Mr. Dennis and Barnes. I highly doubt Mr. Dennis staged all this himself, which leaves Barnes as the only logical suspect. And just where is that key now exactly? Not only that, there were Ducklet's feathers at the crime scene, and Barnes' partner is a Ducklet. Clearly, Barnes used his key to get inside the storage room and then had Ducklet fly off with the jewel. That is my working theory. Duly noted. We don't have any decisive evidence yet, but we're going to find this Ducklet that flew the coop. And then we'll get definitive proof, you'll see. Well, I'll be continuing my own investigation. Suit yourself. Are you following any leads other than Barnes? Of course we are. We've already collected statements from every last person in this house. Do you mind if I ask what your impression of each of them was? Well, I suppose I could tell you that much. Mr. Dennis seems rather shaken by Barnes falling under suspicion, and his wife Claudia is reacting quite impetuously. She's been approaching us repeatedly to demand that we hurry up and wrap up our investigation. Oof, that's gotta be tough. I almost feel bad for Brad. One of their staff members, Turner, has been very cooperative with our investigations. He's told us a lot about everything that's happened up until he lost consciousness. I suppose that's all I can say for now. Thank you. We'll keep all that in mind. The police can question people, but they can't talk to Pokemon. Interviewing the Pokemon around here might help us paint a clearer picture of what went down. The name of the painting is Golden Sunrise, and it depicts Ho-Oh, a Pokemon that's spoken of in legends. They say it brings eternal happiness, and that its wings shine with rainbow-colored light. Rainbow-colored light, huh? The painting sure is beautiful. I bet the real thing is even more breathtaking. She still looks awfully suspicious of us. Let's try again later. Hey Growlithe, sorry to bug you when you're already feeling down, but would it be alright if we asked you some questions? We're here to catch the thief, and we need your help to do that. If you're willing to talk to us if it'll help Sanji? Thanks. Sanji? Growlithe's nickname for Dennis. Near as I can tell. Oh right. His full name is Sanjeev Dennis, so I guess Sanji makes sense. Anyway, Growlithe, can we start with the questions? Gotcha. As Dennis's partner, it's your job to guard the mansion. And we already know that the key to the jewel storage room was around your neck. It's important to Dennis, so guarding it is important to you. Makes sense. She says she never let anyone other than Dennis or Barnes even touch the key. So that's why you feel extra responsible for what happened, huh? She's got a strong sense of responsibility. Don't worry, the two of us are gonna crack this case.
Well...
Do you remember anything about the time of the incident? You don't know because you were napping? What? Your breakfast was so tasty that you ate too much and it made you sleepy? Been there, believe me. What are you even talking about? You woke up when Barnes got home. That would have been right before all the commotion happened. Then when you woke up, your precious key was gone? Yeah, I can tell you're upset. You'll do whatever you can and whatever it takes to help catch the thief? Thanks. We'll come ask for an assist if anything comes up. She says Barnes is a kind and well-mannered person. He and Dennis are close, and she's never seen them fighting or arguing. Mr. Dennis really does seem to trust Barnes after all. And Growlithe likes Barnes too. Judging from what Growlithe says, it's hard to think of Barnes as a likely culprit. There wasn't anything in Growlithe's testimony that could help us prove Barnes' innocence. Only one left to ask is Clefable. I'll do what I can to get Clefable talking to us. What? You think we're thieves returning to the scene of the crime? You got it all wrong. We're not here to steal anything. We're actually great detectives looking to catch the thief. Please, can you answer some questions? Yes, really. Come on, you can trust us. Yeah, help us out, and I'm sure Claudia's bad mood will clear up too. So you're willing to talk to us? Thanks. Guess Clefable was worried we'd do something bad to Mrs. Dennis.
Hey!
Do you have a job here at the mansion? No job per se, unless you count spending time with Claudia. Isn't it tough hanging out with someone so prickly? Claudia's not a bad person, you say? Sorry, I didn't mean to be insulting. Uh-huh. So Claudia's always arguing with someone or other. But when it's just you and her, she starts to regret the whole thing? I get it now. Your job is to cheer her up when she gets into arguments. Oh, you're actually pretty nice. I bet Clefable's really important to Mrs. Dennis. Did anything strange happen today? Clefable was saying she got really sleepy while playing in the mansion this morning. Okay, so it may not have been the fact that Growlithe ate too much that made her sleepy, but rather some other stimuli. Sleep powder, maybe? Then she dozed off and doesn't know what happened after that. That's too bad. What do you think of Barnes? Do you get along with him all right? Claudia doesn't like Barnes, so Clefable tries not to have much to do with him. But she doesn't think Barnes is a bad person. After all, she says Barnes ran to help Turner when he got hurt. Wait, does that mean Clefable saw Barnes going upstairs to help Turner? Yeah, it's gotta. Clefable, what else can you tell us? Clefable was dozing near the front door this morning. When Barnes got home from doing all of his stuff outside, she woke up and greeted him at the door. Then Clefable and Barnes heard Turner cry out on the second floor, so they both went upstairs running. And that's when, to their surprise, they found Turner on the floor. That means when Turner was attacked, Barnes was still on the first floor.
Okay, let's start deducing. Okay.
Alright, we got some useful information. Let's stop for a moment and get our thoughts together. Based on everything we heard, is there anything that suggests Barnes is innocent? Let's review the information we've gathered and see what we come up with. Barnes may not be the culprit. He returned to the mansion after the crime occurred. When Barnes returned to the mansion, both he and Clefable heard Larry Turner cry out. So it's highly likely Barnes committed the crime. Highly unlikely.
okay?
We learned that Clefable greeted Barnes when he returned to the mansion, and Growlithe said she woke up at exactly the same time. Barnes and the others not only became aware of the crime after that, but doesn't that mean Barnes couldn't be the culprit? Barnes was on the first floor when Turner was attacked. That would have made it very difficult for Barnes to steal that jewel. I'm not sure we can prove Barnes' innocence with that alone. Yeah, we can't exactly disclose that testimony came from a Pokemon. No one would believe us. It looks like we're going to need other evidence to prove his innocence. So Barnes has an alibi, but it's not enough yet. How can we prove Barnes' innocence? Pokemon testimonies alone are not enough to prove Barnes' innocence. Let's look for stronger evidence. We can't lift suspicion around Barnes with Clefable's testimony alone. I think we're going to need some other kind of evidence to prove his innocence. But where should we look for it? Nothing immediately comes to mind. At times like this, it's best to try investigating other leads. We might find a thread somewhere unexpected that leads us back to this. Where is the red Pokemon? The red Pokemon that entered the mansion is clearly involved in this incident somehow. Look for that Pokemon in Rhyme City. To get closer to the truth of this case, we've got no choice but to find the Pokemon that witnesses saw. Witnesses that reported seeing a red Pokemon and Ducklet. I wonder if the Pokemon that cut open the jewel case is the culprit partner. Wait, a red Pokemon. So yes, it could be either Bisharp or it could be a Scizor. It makes sense to think that, but no such human was seen by witnesses. Having said that, we might learn something if we can find the red Pokemon. Let's head into the city and get some leads on that red Pokemon. I'm sure we'll be able to figure out what Pokemon it actually is. Where did Ducklet go? Ducklet is nowhere to be found at the dentist's residence. Find out where she went. At this point, it seems pretty unlikely that Barnes is the culprit. But then, why did Ducklet leave from the second floor window? Seems unlikely that it has nothing to do with the jewel theft. Finding Ducklet will be the quickest way to confirm that. Good call. Let's head into the city and look for her.
Okay.
Looks like the only way to continue our investigation is to gather info in the city. Where should we go? Should we go after Ducklet or search for the red Pokemon? If you're unsure, why don't we go try following Ducklet? I think we'd have a better lead on going for that than for the red Pokemon. Oh right, we did hear that Ducklet was supposed to go buy coffee beans today. I'll bet she went into the High Hat Cafe. You're right, we should probably go to the cafe. Let's not waste any time, Tim. And now, we search for Ducklet. Wow, there's been a lot of talking in this game for the last 90 minutes. Huh? You mean you won't help me? I understand how you feel, ma'am, but we're in the middle of an investigation right now. But what should I do? Looks like that woman has a problem. Sure does. I doubt it has anything to do with our case, but it's hard not to want to help someone who's in trouble. That's the spirit, Tim. If you see a person or a Pokemon with a problem, let's do what we can to help them. That's what makes us the city's greatest detectives. But we do need to prioritize our current case. This is something we can help with when we have time. Alright, first let's see what she has to say. During your investigation, people and Pokemon may request your help solving their problems. These people and Pokemon have blue speech bubbles over their heads. If you see them, try talking to them. Local concerns that you've agreed to help with are added to a list. You can check this list at any time by pressing the Y button. Keep in mind, some of these requests aren't necessarily problems in the strictest sense. Excuse me, may I ask what's wrong? My Lillipup's gone missing. Oh no, what happened? We were walking together in Serenity Park. I guess Lillipup must have been having too much fun. He got so worked up, he took off like a rocket. I've been searching all over for him and now I'm exhausted. That police officer won't look into it for me either. I don't know what to do. We can't just ignore this. That's right. Helping people is a detective's job, and finding lost Pokemon even more so. We'd like to help you, ma'am. We're detectives, so we're pretty good at looking for lost people in Pokemon. Really? That'd be a huge help. Can you think of anywhere your Lillipup might have gone? Well, I've already searched the park pretty thoroughly, but I haven't looked for him in the city yet. Oh, also, my Lillipup likes quiet places, but I'm not sure there are quiet places like that around here. I think that's enough information for us to go on. Please wait here while we search for him. I'm so sorry to add to your workload when you're already so busy, but thank you. I hope you find my sweet Lillipup. If we see a Lillipup during our investigation, we should talk to it. They seem happy. What are they talking about? They're saying that no matter how many times they visit this city, it's always bustling and full of fun. Do you suppose they witnessed anything? We could certainly ask. Oh, you ride on a seasonal wind that takes you all over the world, huh? The city seems even livelier than usual whenever Whimsicott arrive. Okay. So you'll be leaving this city to travel somewhere else soon? Oh, you like coming here every year because you can meet so many different Pokemon. I'm happy to hear that. Is this cotton yours? Yeah, the Whimsicott says it's theirs. We actually found this in Mr. Dennis's mansion. I don't suppose you've been in there. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. Come on, you gotta remember at least that much. Oh, this one does remember. What'd it say? It thinks it remembers going into the mansion while playing with its friends. Think so? That's not a very clear answer. Let's ask for more details. How did you get into the Dennis residence? You said you might have been in the mansion, but how'd you get inside? You went through a window with your friends? Why would you do that? You don't remember anything after eating breakfast this morning? The heck does that mean? Please, it's really important. Just try to remember. Some human you don't know asked you to do it? What was the stranger like? You don't remember because it was someone you never seen before, huh? Now look here, you might be an accessory to theft. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? You think the Whimsicott may have been unknowingly involved in the crime? If they were, they're blissfully ignorant of it. After all, playing pranks is kind of their whole deal. This complicates things.
Hey.
Have you two seen any red Pokemon around here? Oh, Poniard is red? And you've recently become friends with one? Okay, so I wasn't too far off with my first guess of it being a Bisharp. It was actually a Poniard. Poniard with blades all over its body. And it's true that Poniards are pretty red. You often run into Poniard at the terrace of Serenity Park. And on windy days you play with Poniard by picking it up and flying around. They say they like to fly Poniard all the way here from Serenity Park. Serenity Park is the big park just beyond here, right? Yeah, the terrace is way over on the far side. Maybe we can find Poniard there. Do you remember where you last played with Poniard? Oh, lately you've been playing together every day, even today? In that case, we might be able to find it there now. If we go meet Poniard, We should be careful about how we treat its favorite rock. It has a favorite rock? Apparently there's a rock at the terrace that Poniard really cares about. One time, they accidentally stepped on it, and Poniard got mad. Real mad. Oh, that's scary. Better watch where we step then. So yes, remember the rock. Don't step on the rock. Don't suppose they've seen Ducklet around, have they? Okay, I get it. You didn't see her. If they didn't see her, I wonder where she went. Do you suppose Poniard is the red Pokemon we're looking for? Apparently, it's good friends with the Whimsicott that went into the mansion. So it seems pretty likely. It'd probably be fastest just to go to meet it and ask. Still have to track down Ducklet. Should we look for Ducklet or Poniard first? Either is fine by me. We can start with whichever you choose. Oh, if it isn't Bidub. Glad to see you're feeling better now. Who am I? What do you mean? I just rescued you a little while ago. It's forgotten the whole thing. Well, Bidub are known for their forgetfulness. Alright. Lickitung. Licked every flavor life has to offer. Ribombee. Have some pollen puffs. Ribombee mixed pollen and nectar to make all kinds of different puffs.
You there! Wait, you wouldn't happen to be that great detective duo, would you?
Red flags everywhere. Charles Murlock, scientist. So many red flags.
I am such a huge fan of yours.
More red flags. Oh dear, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Charles Murlock. I'm a scientist working here in Rhyme City to deepen our understanding of Pokemon. A scientist, huh? What's that? You'd like to hear more about what I do? Actually, my research has been recognized by Mayor Myers himself. Now I'm helping out with a new policy that he and the city council are working on. You might say I'm the brains behind Rhyme City's latest policies. This guy's intense. And he seems like the type who doesn't even listen to what others are saying. If you two great detectives have any questions for me, by all means, fire away. After all, I have something in common with you both. We are working to help Rhyme City. We're all coming from the same place, comrades with the same goals, so I'm prepared to answer any questions you have. Thank you. Guess our only choice is to play along for a bit. What a drag.
Excuse me?
What sort of research are you doing, Mr. Murlock? My research explores the nature of communication between people and Pokemon. Sounds complicated. No, it's quite simple, really. We're just trying to help Pokemon understand human language. Imagine what that'd do for Rhyme City. It'd make life here so much more simpler, entertaining, and simple. A whole city where people and Pokemon can go back and forth like we can, huh? That really would make Rhyme City an even better place. Don't you think?
Excuse me?
What exactly do you do to help the mayor with policy development. My domain is science, not politics. I can't actually propose new legislation. What I can do, though, is develop new machines and equipment. I also help distribute them to the people and Pokemon of Rhyme City. I am proud to contribute to my city with the power of science. That's wonderful, isn't it? Mayor Myers came up with the idea for a bill to help people and Pokemon coexist. So I feel duty-bound to use my position as a scientist to support it. Sounds like he's warming up for his speech. I can tell how passionate you are about improving the city.
Oh, can I ask you a favor, Pikachu?
Red flag everywhere.
Would you allow me to give you a quick health exam?
Red flags everywhere.
Ow! Hey, what'd you just do to me?
I only plucked a bit of fur, and the test results should be ready in just a moment. What exactly are you doing? This is a machine I created at Mayor Myers' request. It can measure a Pokemon's vital signs in record time. In other words, it's made to quickly check a Pokemon's health. I'd say that's a good thing for both people and their partners, wouldn't you say? Yes, it sure sounds like it. Way to bury the lead. Okay, it's ready. Now let me see. What'd it say? It's detecting caffeine? Did someone say caffeine? Seeing as he's working as a detective, I figured this is no ordinary Pikachu. These results are truly fascinating. Hello, Mr. Murloc? Oh, do forgive me. He's quite alright, no problems at all. I suppose his triglycerides are a bit high for a Pokemon. My what? He does seem slightly different from a regular Pikachu, though. Is there something weird about me? Well, now that you've finished your checkup, I think we better get going. Yes. Sorry to have taken up so much of your time. Good luck, great detectives. Thank you. Come on, Pikachu. Stop sulking and let's go. High triglycerides. Well, that just happened. Oh, Phalanx. Lockstep formation. There sure are a lot of amazing Pokemon around. These ones are so well coordinated. I can see the special rock.
This is the top, yeah?
Look at that, Pikachu.
Huh?
From here you have a perfect view of the dentist residence.
Hey Tim, what are you thinking? I'm pretty sure that window is the one in front of the jewel storage room. A Pokemon capable of flying could go straight into the mansion from here. Yeah, if our thief was getting help from a Pokemon, this would be the perfect vantage point. This is where the Whimsicott usually meet up with Pawniard, right? That's what they say, but I don't see it anywhere. If it was here earlier, maybe it left some kind of sign. Well, Pawniard are known for their blades. It's not much, but it's the only lead we got. What's up with this rock? It's covered in gashes. Has something been scratching at it? These gashes look like they were left by something sharp, like a blade. I doubt a human could be strong enough to make clean cuts like these. More Whimsicott cotton. Torn up leaves have rough, uneven edges. You suppose Poniard did that? They looked to me like they were bitten, not cut.
Okay, let's start deducing. Okay.
It's highly likely that the slash marks left on the rock were made by Poniard. That's proof that Poniard comes to the terrace. Poniard and Whimsicott apparently play together often. Since they flew to the dentist residence together, we might be able to find Poniard if we search inside the mansion. Nah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Can you think of any ways to draw Poniard here? Climb on the rock?
Oh,
Whimsicott said that Poniard got angry when they stepped on the rock. Oh yeah, you're right. Good memory. Maybe Poniard will show up if one of us climbs on it. Worth a shot. Let's give it a try. How's this? I just hope it's actually here to see this. Whoa. Impressive swordplay. Just like Whimsicott said. Okay, it's saying, "Darest thou tread upon my cherished rock? What is the meaning of this? Thine answer shall determine thy fate. I will show thee no mercy." Wait, what? Wow, it's really angry. Sorry, we just wanted to find you. We weren't trying to mess with your rock or anything. Thank goodness. It said it'll forgive us, but just this once. You wanna know why we were looking for you? Fair enough. We got some questions we'd like to ask you. Would you mind talking with us for a bit? It says it'll talk. So you've been traveling all over as part of your journey to warriorhood. I'm sorry, did you say journey to warriorhood? Apparently it travels all over the place to practice and improve its moves. Pun. It says that because it was born with these blades, it wishes nothing more than to master them. If Poniard was that proud of its blades, I bet they have razor-sharp edges. It says it can cleanly slice a rock in two. This might sound a bit strange, but you haven't, punched anyone recently, have you? Pun? Poniard says it's never punched a single person or Pokemon in its life. Good point. You could cut something with those hands of yours, but you definitely couldn't punch it. Oh yeah, on second thought, you'd wind up with a different injury if you were punched by a Poniard. Are there any other Pokemon in the city besides you? Any other Poniard in the city besides you? Apparently, it's never seen any other Poniard. So we're back to the concept of it possibly being a Scizor. We heard from Whimsicott that they went into the Mr. Dennis's mansion. Were you the one who went in there with them? Poniard's not sure if it was the same place, but it vaguely remembers going into a big house. It says it entered the house together with the Whimsicott. Apparently, Poniard likes to get picked up and flown around by Whimsicott. So you think they might have gotten inside the mansion that way? Did you happen to cut a jewel case when you were in the mansion? So you could remember this as a sensation of cutting through something, but the rest is a blur. This is important, so please try to remember. It says its mind feels all foggy, and it just can't remember what was going on at the time. Okay. So we've established that Poniard was the one that cut the glass, pretty much. And the Whimsicott were also there, but no one is certain that they were there. The original theory was that the Whimsicott used sleep powder of some kind, but that's a no-go. So the question is, why is it that Poniard, Whimsicott, Clefable, and Growlithe all fell asleep around the same time and can barely remember that time frame? Have you seen Ducklet around anywhere? It hasn't seen her. Great. Where could Ducklet have gone? We finally managed to find Poniard, but we weren't able to learn anything useful from it. Yeah. And it's some of what it said even contradicted testimony we gathered earlier. Maybe we could get more information if we had proof that Poniard entered the mansion. It's asking if we're done here so we can get back to training. What sort of training does it do? It's planning on cutting rocks and things to sharpen its skills and blades. Cut rocks? Wow, would it be willing to demonstrate for us? Oh, good idea. It would be a big help to see what a cut from a Poniard looks like. It says it would happily grace us with a demonstration. Thank you. We'll watch quietly so you can focus.
Whoa. Awesome.
The power of Poniard. This clean slice and the metallic sound Poniard's blade made when it made contact. It all matches what we know of the St. crime scene. That means the Poniard that entered the mansion must have been Poniard. But neither Whimsicott nor Poniard remembers clearly. What's up with that? I can't imagine that the Pokemon are lying. Their behavior was pretty unusual. There must be a good reason for it. I don't think we'll figure out what's going on here with their memory until we investigate a bit more. Alright. Let's do what we can right now. We should consider looking for Ducklet now that we found Poniard. Barnes said he asked her to go pick up some coffee beans today, didn't he? Yeah, maybe someone at the High Hat Cafe saw Ducklet there. Now that you mention it, we never managed to go there ourselves after Holiday showed up. Thank you for your time.
So, your hands are blades, huh? Wow, that's pretty neat. Hey, Tim. I know you're busy investigating, but I really want some coffee right now.
I know how you feel. Oh. How wonderful to meet you, Detective. Seriously, it's an honor.
Yes.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Can I help you, or... do you really not know who I am? I'm kind of a big deal on the Rhyme University campus. And I know you go to school there too. Know anything about this so-called big deal, Tim? Not that I can think of. They call me the quiz professor. I'm actually still a student, but that's what they call me. And this is my partner, Toucanon. Toucanon, the burning beak. So you're, the quiz professor. That's me. I'm majoring in Pokemon Studies. I can't resist sharing the knowledge I've learned, so I quiz all sorts of people. That explains the nickname. This quiz professor is definitely on the eccentric side. I'll admit you got me there. A Pikachu doing detective work is pretty eccentric too. Why don't we celebrate our meeting with a quiz? We're pretty busy on a case right now. Okay, here's the first question. In one ear and out the other. Oh well, I guess it can't hurt to play along. Okay, I guess here goes nothing. What Pokemon catches prey with its long tongue? Lickitung. The Pokemon in question is somewhere in this very city, so get out there and look for it. What's their tongue like, Toucanon? Mind opening up that beak of yours? Nothing extraordinary here. Thanks anyway. A Pokemon with a long tongue, huh? If there's one nearby, it shouldn't take long for us to find it. When you find the Pokemon in question, come tell me what it is. I'll be waiting. Answer correctly, and I'll even teach you some trivia about it. Oh, you have got to be kidding. Oh, wait. Yeah, here it is. So I can't just input my own answer. I actually have to find the Pokemon first.
Yes.
Lickitung uses its long tongue to catch its prey. According to reports, contact with its saliva causes a tingling sensation, as well as a persistent itch. Good thing we didn't get licked. I'm feeling pretty itchy just imagining it. Thanks for the warning, Toucanon. I'll make sure any Lickitung we meet keeps its tongue to itself. What Pokemon uses its cute look to put you off your guard so it can steal from you? Hey, we don't have time to deal with another theft. What Pokemon tries to steal from people? Pretty sure it's not you, Toucanon. Sudowoodo, unmoving as a tree. Does it have to practice right here? It seems like it'll block a lot of foot traffic. Hey Sudowoodo, if you want to practice, you should try doing it somewhere else. This location totally blows your cover. That sure seemed to send it into a panic. Guess I thought it was blending in perfectly. It's you, Purloin. The adorable deceiver. Protect your wallet. Hold up, Tim. Check your pockets. Why would I need to check my... My pen's gone. Thought so. This is your doing, isn't it, Purloin? Can't pull one over on a great detective like me. Now hand it over. Pause where we can see him. Can't take your eyes off this Purloin for a second. At least we figured out the answer to the quiz question. Your thieving days are over, got it?
Yes.
And they sometimes scratch people who try to reclaim those stolen items, so be careful of their claws. The Purloin we met wasn't that rowdy. But we should probably be careful in the future. True, better safe than sorry. It's asking if we agree that quizzes can actually be pretty fun. There's certainly a chance to learn more about Pokemon. Alright, let the quiz continue. Time for question 3. Best buds always stick together. What Pokemon moves as a group? Phalanx. In this case, the whole group counts as one Pokemon. Is that even a thing?
Yes.
Phalanx is a very peculiar Pokemon. There are actually 6 of them working together as one. The one at the front, known as the Brass, leads the others by issuing orders. In battle, they change formation as needed and use teamwork to secure the win. That's a pretty interesting Pokemon. Sure, but I bet it's tough for the troopers if they've got an incompetent Brass. Yeah, sorry. I'm sure they're all perfectly competent. That's all for today's quiz. Hope you're as enthusiastic about quizzes and Pokefacts as I am. Yes, I learned a lot. Glad to hear it. Next time, I'll get some new questions ready for you. Oh, okay. Please let them be easy ones. And maybe she could, you know, wait until we're not in the middle of something. Yeah, see ya, Toucanon. A Raboot. Score a hat trick. Watchhog, a self-appointed city patrol. What, really? What's it saying? You gotta tell me too. Sorry. It says it saw a ducklet pass by here. If she passed by here, she was probably on her way to the cafe after all.
job! Hey, wait up!
It's gone.
Oh.
Oh, now we follow it into this back alley. Hey, Lillipup. Did someone say walkies? It's probably somewhere here, but we'll worry about that later. And they're still fighting it out.
Whoa!
Welcome to the Hi-Hat Cafe.
Oh, Tim!
Hello there.
Alright, I think this is a good spot for us to stop for today. We've gotten a good 2 hours of gameplay into this story. Is that a Bond suite on the rafters? Yes, it is. Alright, yeah, we're just gonna leave it right there. Thank you so much to everyone who came to watch my streams today, and those who come to watch the playbacks later. And I will see you next time for more TTYD for Life, Detective Pikachu Returns, and also tomorrow, Silent Hope. I hope to see you there.